Good evening, everybody. Hell's Unicorn here again. This is going to be a quick response video to an abomination that I actually just saw over on Pajamas Media. PGTV has always been kind of hit or miss, depending on who the person is who's doing the talking or the interviewing. In my personal opinion, the worst of the worst in this particular media outlet is Tony Katz, who happened to get a brief 1-minute long conversation with Dr. Ron Paul right before the Iowa debate, which is going to be coming on about an hour from now. During this interview, Mr. Katz made 3 very grievous errors that I want to address right now. 2 of these had to do with his questioning. 1 of them had to do with his personal conduct. First, the questions. Number 1, he asks Ron Paul if the Republican Party will embrace his isolationist viewpoints. You know something? I don't think I need to explain why Ron Paul is not an isolationist, because Katz and the morons who believe the stuff that he says don't want to hear about it. It's not that they don't understand. It's that they don't want to understand. They don't want to face up to reality here. They like their little dream world where they can have a booming economy and they can kill as many brown people as they want and worship the state of Israel, which is the second question that he asked. Israel this, Israel that. Hey, Dr. Ron Paul, do you think the administration is snubbing Israel? I'm going to say this right now. I have nothing against Israel. I have nothing against Jewish people. They have things against me and my chosen religious beliefs, and they've written it in their holy texts. But I'm going to put all that aside right now, because unlike these religious idiots who say that we have to send our sons over to die for Israel, I can actually look at things from a logical perspective. And here is my logical perspective. If Israel is so weak and pathetic that it needs us to do everything for it, it's not worth protecting. It's time for these people to stand up for themselves. I'm more than happy to have friendly trading relationships with them. I'm more than happy to have their citizens come here if they want to work, and for ours to go over there for the same reason. I don't want to be enemies with Israel, but I do want to be enemies with Zionist idiots like Tony Katz. Everything is always Israel this and Israel that. You know something? Screw your sentiments on Israel. I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. I am more interested in what's going on here in America. What brings me to my third point. The interview in question lasted about a minute because Mr. Katz decided to actually touch Ron Paul. You know, just kind of patted him on the shoulder or something, like he was buddy-buddy with him. Now, this is a presidential election, and unfortunately, this isn't the glory days of the Founding Fathers when presidential candidates could walk the streets without fear of being shot or being attacked. So everybody has security. Part of the reason why this is the situation we have is because of the kind of government that we've gotten over the course of the past 200 or some odd years, gradually in increments. When you see security people with a politician running for higher office, there are certain things that you do not do. You do not accost them in a threatening manner, which Katz didn't really do. This was more just a stupid mistake. It wasn't something malicious like that stupid woman that tried to jam that picket sign into Rand Paul's face when he was running for office and ended up getting manhandled by a couple of his supporters. That was a different situation altogether. But the congressman is not your buddy, Mr. Katz, and he is especially not your buddy if you're asking him hatchet job questions. So here's what I want all of you, my audience, to do. For the next hour, we're not going to be having any actual debate coverage, so to speak. The debate's not going to be going on. I want you to go over to this video. I got a link in the description, and I want you to downvote it, and I want you to give Katz your thoughts on the matter. I am tired of having to explain the definition of isolationism to every moronic neocon I come across. If these people are too dumb and too lazy to go to Wikipedia and to look at the the bullet points that make up an isolationist ideology, such as xenophobic views regarding immigration, which Ron Paul does not hold, and neither do I. We do hold some views on immigration that are a little bit divergent with the Libertarian Party, but we are not xenophobic. Isolationism includes trade barriers such as sanctions and tariffs. Ron Paul has voted against virtually every single tariff or sanction ever proposed in Congress. The guy is not an isolationist. He just doesn't want to be responsible for the deaths of thousands upon thousands of people that we need not be at war with. You might enjoy seeing dead babies on a television screen over in Iraq and Afghanistan, Mr. Katz. I don't, and neither do most of the people in this country anymore. The Republican Party needs an enema, and I'm sorry to say that some of the people in need of getting cleaned off of the grates are to be found in the so-called alternative media, such as PJTV. With prudence to myself and benevolence to all of you, good evening.